They're going to be like, that son of a gun, I don't remember his name, but this is so awesome. Look, I help the children of extraordinarily wealthy people, the adult children, all the time. And I actually like working with them more than the guy who's worth $35 million because they're so hungry to learn. And it's so exciting to take someone who's 28 years old and getting them set. Because I know what it's going to look like when they're my age. They're going to be like, that son of a gun, I don't remember his name, but this is so awesome.
Yeah, I think there's so much truth to that. It's just the consistency and mindset. Um, you just have to start. But it's intimidating, just like if you have to talk to a doctor. Who hates or just does not go to a doctor? It's okay if you know, because like I think until like 5 years ago, I was like, I guess if I'm gonna die, I'll go to a doctor. I'll do like maybe once every other year physical. But now, with a lot of AI tools,
Yeah.
so I was interviewing I interviewed actually 12 different family office managers, and I really needed the trust component figured out. So I created an AI agent and I downloaded like thousands of pages of family office and investing and all these things in the RAG or knowledge base for the agent. And then Michael Merlin, who's a mutual friend of ours, um, it spit out like 100 questions for his team. And like I emailed him all the questions. You know, if he wants my business, he's going to answer all those questions. You're like,
Oh, I'm sure he was psyched to get that email.
no, I mean, he sent that to somebody else to get answer. No, but the point is, you have the power now. You have the tools now. There's not really many excuses. Forget the RAG, forget all that other stuff. Do some basic LLM deep research model. What are the questions I should ask? In addition to hopefully this recording and all the classes we've done over over the last years to just ask those questions because it's intimidating. I'll tell you, it's stressful. It's like, I don't know who to talk to. I don't know what anything. Just like if you're going to talk to a doctor, you don't know anything about medical stuff. He was like, I don't know what to say. Now you can download all those scans, pull all those labs, get all those questions, put it all together, and email it to them on their messaging portal or send it to your wealth manager and ask those questions. But the one thing you cannot do is not invest. Full stop.
Yep.
You want to lose out, so you just don't invest. It doesn't matter how much. That's the crazy thing. I remember when I had like I had no money as an entrepreneur. I was sleeping on my buddy's couch, ramen noodles. It was good. It was in college, so it was okay. But I would always do before I got that dollar, half it was gone. Yep. It doesn't matter how many dollars it was. $50, it was $100. Half of it's on auto gone. Even today, on my main account, there's an auto debit. So it's always going out. The mindset
So
of
good.
on autopilot. And worst case scenario, there's a lot of these autopilot programs and stuff like that. I know some of you follow, I guess she's not a congresswoman anymore, Nancy Pelosi's stock trading thing that made, what's the name of that app? Autopilot, a huge success as a company. I'm not saying to do that. That's a whole nother topic. But if you're doing nothing, you're going to lose. Um,
I'll tell you guys too, let's not swing. And I'm curious with your international audience. So I would suggest a couple things. Here, like for what we do, we barbell this thing. And here's what I mean. Don't go swinging for mostly home runs because your batting average will suck. You will get burned. And then everybody does it and then they slide back. Here's the thing, here's the cheat code is that we do some really aggressive things in your international audience. I guarantee is going to know what I'm talking about. We, for our people right now, even in some of our conservative portfolios, I buy this thing called GSOL. Look it up, GSOL. It's a grayscale Solana ETF play, and it has a 9% dividend with the volatility, but the upside potential of Solana, which your international folks will say, farmer's right. Solana is going to be the transactional crypto. It's coming. If you don't already know about it, go read it. Scaramucci has a book about it. Put it into ChatGPT or Gemini and just get educated on Solana because it's very different than Bitcoin. And that's a whole topic. I've done a webinar on how to invest in crypto and how to understand DeFi versus what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin's digital gold, and then there's transactional DeFi. So go study up on that. So you can go play around in that kind of sandbox. And a lot of these money managers at the biggest firms, They either don't study it, they don't want to know it. They're the Titanic. And their boss would say, "Are you crazy? There's no upside for us, man. These people won't understand it." Da 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 da. So this is what I'm saying. You want to interview your wealth managers and try to make it an intimate relationship. So we do some really cool staking strategies like that that are according to some Edward Jones guy would say is so crazy. It's not if you just understand it. But on the other end of the spectrum, yeah, we're buying Caterpillar and Exxon Mobil and all that stuff because if you're swinging too wildly all the time, the baseball analogy fits. Singles and doubles will make you rich. And if you could steal another point or two from performance because you dabble in the home runs, that's the way to do it. It just takes discipline.
You know, I, we didn't have this conversation before. That's exactly what I do. Is a complete barbell strategy where if I'm dead, we're good to go. Like you also be fine. You'll be fine. The point is that I assume I'm going to die at some point in terms of planning. So it's super safe strategy on one side. On the other side, I'm gonna be like the craziest, most riskiest investment because I know I'm safe over here. So it's all about asset allocation. And again, you've got hedge. If you're in software development, guess what you know? Software. Who are the big players that are coming out? Now, there's gonna be a lot of IPOs in the next like 24 to 36 months. Who knows what the hell's going to happen? Some of them are going to go bankrupt. I really feel like in this case, there's a lot more revenue being generated by the AI companies versus the dot-com boom where, I don't know anybody was making any revenue. But in this case, as a lot of these IPOs come to market, you'll probably get offering secondaries and stuff like that as it becomes more and more ubiquitous in the marketplace. Make sure you got the other side covered before you go on this side. I literally had a mom contact me because somebody else was scared because she was like, "Hey, I want to mortgage my house and go all in Bitcoin." And I was like, "Okay, you're a single mom, you have two little kids, and you just told me what you're going to put everything all in on Bitcoin." I'm like, "That makes no sense. I don't care if Bitcoin goes up 1,000-fold." But there's this like gambling type of
Yes.
feeling and anxiety and thrill. Go do that if you got the other side covered.
Don't look at investing like you would look at your home. If you had windows in your home that were broken and it's January, would you go put in the new marble in your kitchen or would you fix the windows first? So get the house in order and then you can play around and start redoing the kitchens and the bathrooms and have a master closet that's all sexy and cool. That's the trick. Get the basics, tag the basics so that you're secure in life. Let me tell you something, man. I've had money and I've had no money. I have been rich, I have been really poor, and rich is way better. Okay? And the way to get there is don't do stupid stuff. Start putting it away. You're mostly, and people in this room are young. So let compound interest, it's the closest thing to magic we have. Use it.
Absolutely. Just recently, one of the early startups, and I've been doing startup investing forever. Again, know who it is that you're working with, know who they are, their values, their ethics, their grit specifically. And one of the companies announced last year in Wall Street Journal. It was a startup, and I know many of you have talked. I've talked to you about it. Called Price Picks. Has anybody heard of Price Picks?
Yeah.
And so
I know the founder, Riverwood kid. Did you know that?
no, I didn't know him.
Yeah. Atlanta kid. He went to Riverwood High School. Go ahead.
I've been coaching and mentoring Adam since college. His first company failed. His second company kind of broke even, and he was in a very tough position.
I think it's him. Adams. We're talking about the same guy.
Adam Wexler.
It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was in the down round, struggling right as the Supreme Court made the decision for legalized certain type of gambling, not all gambling. He does parlay betting on Prize Picks, if you know what it is. Um, we announced in Wall Street Journal, this is public news, that we were getting acquired for $4.5 billion. And the transaction was supposed to be in March, April, May, and it ended up happening last week. And I asked the same question myself: where am I going to invest the funds? Guess where I'm investing the funds? Right here,
Yeah.
because I look at
Did you all just get raises? Did y'all hear that?
say that's it. It's a comfort.
He's like, that guy's never coming back.
Well, it's important because I looked at, I've been doing investing and managing money for over 20 years. This is what I do. And I looked at everything. I looked at the AI agents, I talked to other people, I looked at everything like from that standpoint. I'm like, at the end of the day, I actually do believe in Hive. Because when you're in a company, there's always ups and downs, right? You might hit the metric, you might not hit the metric. At the end of the day, the reason why any company is successful is not because of metrics, it's because of the people. And then you start looking around the people is like, are they willing to kill themselves for a cause to make impact in the community, which I really believe in, and then also with the team members that are side by side with them. And for me, I'm really excited to invest back into the company and take not really that much risk for an incredible return because I know who the team is. Just like your firm and a lot of institutions have looked at us, I look at really the team because you guys take care of each other and you guys are high. I'm not high. I'm a representative and I might be on stage and I communicate what Hive's story is. But the reality is it's the people to the left and the right that create this story and make this a great investment and a great company from that standpoint. So